Well, we just got done using one old and obsolete method of controlling weeds in cotton. And today I'm gonna give Andy a schooling on another way that we used to control weeds back in the day. Yep, we got our old variable rate spot sprayer with optical sensors out today. Got some pigweed gonna die. All right, Andy, you ever rode one of these spot spraying rigs before?
I have not. First time it's on.
It's going to be quite an experience. This is how we used to control troublesome weeds back in the day, and it was effective then. It's still effective today.
It seems luxury.
You still remember what a pigweed looks like, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let's get this thing spread out and get to knocking some weeds back. All right, slide her out. Oh, hold up. All right, go. Come on. All right, push it in a little. Oh, back out. Hold up. All right, Ian. All right, I'm gonna have you driving until Kelly gets out. Me and Carter be on each side. We'll start down there in the big bottom and work our way around the end rows. They're not too bad out there, and I think me and Carter should be able to cover all 8 rows just ourselves. All right, my chariot awaits. Get my water jug settled. Now, I rode this thing over a lot of acres of cotton as a kid and teenager, and then we didn't use it for probably, I don't know, probably close to 20 years, and then brought it out of retirement. This seat right here is the exact same one that I rode on as a kid. I've never ridden in the middle seat or the other seat there. Andy's trying to keep Carter out of the corn. But although back in the day we didn't have a front end loader to attach this to where we could raise it up and down and all that, it was just mounted to the front end of the tractor and there was no height adjustment. Hey Carter, be watching for pigweeds over there in the corn. Watch for pigweeds in those rows of corn. I wonder if OSHA's got any regulations about seat belts on spot spraying rigs. Well, we missed every single drop of that. Predicted 1 to 2 inches yesterday and last night, but corn's still holding on, but it's quickly becoming dry again. The one saving grace is that for probably the next week or so, we've got really mild temperatures predicted, like, you know, high 80s, which corn can withstand dry weather a whole lot better when it's a little bit milder outside. But I think there's some pretty good rain chances for the beginning of next week. Hopefully we'll get some then. Cotton's loving it right now, but we could definitely use another rain on the corn crop to maintain what we got. All right, we got our full complement out here. We're letting Kelly drive the tractor because she's been driving the water truck. She's been out in the heat and humidity the most the last several weeks, so we're gonna give her the AC while me, Andy, and Carter scout for pigweeds and spray them. And the reason we're doing this is this 50-acre field, we've already sprayed it twice over the top with Liberty, which is the only thing over the top of cotton that's going to kill pigweed. We don't use 2,4-D or dicamba, enlist or extend, just because of the risk of it getting up and moving and damaging surrounding vegetation or other crops or whatever. So Liberty's the only thing that will control these pigweeds over the top. And whenever we went over with the first pass, these pigweeds were too big to control with 32 ounces of Liberties. Then we made a second pass at a higher gallons per acre, just trying to get them, and didn't really phase them too much. So we got three options. We can walk this whole field with a hoe and chop them, which I don't want, or we can walk and pull them up, which again I don't want. It's a whole lot easier to ride, and we're spraying Liberty, but these big pigweeds, we can actually kill them if we soak them. I mean, really heavily apply the chemical to them. It'll kill a big pigweed, just not spraying over the top with a sprayer at 32 ounces an acre. So this is by far the best and easiest option to control these patches of pigweeds. They're just kind of scattered, you know, all the way across the field here. So, you know, normally my pigweed control during the year consists of riding side by side around the fields and spot spraying, but there's just too many patches out here, and instead of them being concentrated around the edges like they normally are, we got patches of them scattered throughout the field, and we got a lot better vantage points sitting up here in these seats riding across the field than what I do sit down lower in a side-by-side, so we're able to better spot them and spray them. Then once we get these big patches cleaned up, you know, the rest of the summer, you know, I think we can get by just riding the side-by-side around the edges and looking out over the top. And then of course Andy, when he's spraying the cotton for insects, if he sees any while he's spraying, he'll stop the sprayer, get down, and either chop it or pull it up. Tell you one thing, this sure beats the heck out of walking. You know, back in the day when I was a kid, you know, in the 80s and 90s, we actually rode these things quite a bit because we didn't have herbicide-resistant cotton back then. You know, we depended on cultivation, and then the big weeds in the middle that escape cultivation, we'd have to go in and chop them, or we'd have to spot spray with this rig right here. And you know, when we're spot spraying like this, you know, we can spray a non-selective herbicide, and yeah, we might damage just a little bit of cotton right there around the weed, but as long as you're careful with your aim, the damage will be pretty minimal while wiping out the weed. And there were several years, you know, we rode this thing over 800 acres of cotton, and back then pigweeds wasn't a problem. Cocoa burrs was the big problem. And then over the years, as they came out with GMO cotton that was resistant to Roundup, and then later other chemicals like Liberty and dicamba, cocoa burrs is no longer a problem. We can still easily control them over the top with herbicides, but Palmer amaranth and water hemp, which we don't have water hemp, but Palmer amaranth's a big one in this area, quickly developed a resistance to Roundup, and is resistant to pretty much every chemistry right now other than glufosinate. I know some of y'all will say in some areas that, well, dicamba still gets pigweeds, and it does in some areas, but in our area, over 50% of the population of pigweeds is now resistant to dicamba. So we especially got a concern that these pigweeds that we've already sprayed twice with Liberty, you know, they haven't died. You know, if they continue to grow and produce seeds, there's a good chance they will produce seeds that will germinate the plants that are then at least somewhat resistant to Liberty. So we want to make sure that we don't leave any pigweeds out here to go to seed. We want to preserve this technology. Plus, we want to keep the seed bank in our fields low to where we don't have to fight as hard in future years to keep these pigweeds out. And that's what we've been doing on this farm for several years. But we had full season soybeans out here last year, and apparently we had I had a couple escapes that I just missed throughout the year, and that's what's producing these patches of pigweed out here in the field. And y'all also might be asking about the hooded sprayer. Well, did you use a hooded sprayer to help control these weeds? Yeah, I did. But the thing is, some of these weeds were so tall, you know, 2-3 feet tall. You know, the hooded sprayer is not going to kill them. When a weed gets that tall, I mean, it literally needs to be soaked in herbicide in order to kill it. Either that or manually removed through chopping or pulling. All right, guys, this is a classic example of what happens when one plant goes to seed. This is why it's so critical that we don't let any of them escape. I say, I mean, we're just absolutely soaking them with herbicide, and you can tell where the hooded sprayer got them, but didn't get enough on them to kill them. But us soaking them like this ought to absolutely fry them. Man, y'all look at that cotton right there. I mean, it is absolutely phenomenal. I know y'all can't see it from the camera, but it's blooming about midway up in the plant. We got some over thumb-sized bolls down there at the bottom. I mean, it's just looking absolutely fabulous. I think there could really be some big yields come out of our early planted cotton. All right, right down through here has been a problem area for about 4 or 5 years, and I put a special emphasis on it every single year, but apparently a couple keep on escaping, and we just cannot seem to eradicate. Stay in your lane, Carter, I got this. I thought it seemed worse when I was out here with the hooded sprayer, but I guess the hooded sprayer cleaned a few of them up. All right, we got this farm done, 60 acres. How was your first day riding the seeds?
It was exciting. We got some sun.
It was
nice.
Yeah, we got the kind of tan that people pay for.
Oh yeah. I seen the cotton guys.
Anyway, that's going to do it for today. We're going to fold this thing up, carry it to the front, and we got a few more farms to go over tomorrow, but this is definitely the worst one. Hopefully about another half a day we'll have this wrapped up. All right, back out here this morning while we're waiting for Andy to get over here with the spot sprayers. I want to give you a quick update, show you exactly what the cotton looks like. First off, looking at the job our hooded sprayer done, it did a fantastic job, and even got, you know, like these little weeds up under the row. Again, that's why we run the hooded sprayer, get that directed spray up under the plant to not only keep the middles clean, but also to get the stuff up under the row. And you just can't do that with a you know, spraying over the top with a big sprayer. Now, if we just get a rainfall to get that baler activated, ought to really help keep this cotton clean the rest of the year. But man, look at that cotton crop. I mean, this stuff is grown, and this cotton looks absolutely fantastic. And then look at how it's fruiting up. You know, our first position square is blooming about midway up the plant. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 nodes above white flower, so we're about mid bloom. And then looking on down here in the plant, you know, we got some pretty nice sized bowls already forming. Got a nice 5-lock bowl right there, and so far it doesn't look like it's aborted any fruit whatsoever. We've done a fantastic job with our insect control so far, and you know, all these bottom bowls have set. You know, they're not going to get kicked off. They're going to be our money bowls. Like here on this branch, we got our first position that's set. We got our second position that is bloomed and looks like it's set, not going to be kicked off. And then here in about a couple of days we'll have our third position. If we can hold on to that one, that will just be plain awesome. But just peeling this back, I mean it's just plain old, it's loaded up with fruit. Just, man, just get a cotton grower excited. Look at this lower branch. First position is set, second position is definitely set, third position will probably be set. Heck, might even get a four. This one might actually hold on to 4 positions, but that's still got a ways. But that's still got a ways to go before that one blooms. So overall, right now, on, well, at least half of our crop, you know, the part we didn't have to replant, it just looks absolutely fantastic. I'd say it even looks better than last year's. And you know what kind of crop we had last year. Now the last half, well, the last 40%, it's definitely a lot farther behind. It can catch up, and we saw last year that late cotton can still produce good, but it's still got a long road ahead of it. All right, looks like Andy just arrived with our chariots. Let's go unalive some more pigweed. All right, we've had a little bit of a change in operators here. Kelly got tired driving the tractor, won't get out on the seat, so put Carter up there in the tractor driving. And we got the worst of it knocked out yesterday. We're not going to have to go over this whole farm, but we got to kind of go around there. We got a few patches along this terrace, and get them knocked out quick and get moved on to the next farm. Well, that's it for here in Madison County. I hope everybody driving down the road, I hope they didn't get jealous of our rig right here.
Lazy boys in the air.
I'm surprised we didn't have people pulling up off the road wanting a ride on this thing.
$5 ride. Come on.
All right, we got a few more spots to hit in Crockett County, and we ought to be wrapped up with this. All right, everybody load up. Come on, Kelly, let's hop up there.
He's being a complete jerk. No, you can't lower it.
Why is my side so much lower? Guess I need to go on a diet. Well, we're on our last field here. We're getting over here to that patch that I showed you when I was on the hooded sprayer the other day. And we get this knocked out. We should have the spot spraying wrapped up. He's soaking them good. All right, now my opportunity has arrived. We soak them real good with Liberty just like this. It ought to turn them nice and crispy here in a few days. You see, the ones that are turning yellow, that's the ones the hoods run over. The ones that are still solid green, those are the ones that are coming up right in the row. So again, kind of shows you what the cover crops do on weed control. Where we had that bare strip from the burn down strips, and then the row cleaners and on the planter created you know, plenty of sunlight in the ground for the pigweeds to come up. I believe this is going to be our last pass. A little over a day and a half. We've covered, somewhere around 80, 85 acres. Got all the pigweed eradicated, and I think now pretty much all of our cotton fields are pretty much clean of pigweed. We still got to do some scouting of the corn, and I'll do that next week before we leave on vacation. But I feel pretty confident about getting away for a week, and our cotton field's going to be in pretty good shape. No weeds running rampant in it. Anyway, we're going to get back to the shop. I got something else need to get done on this Friday afternoon before the weekend gets here. All right, here we got our corn maze. Well, it's not quite a maze yet. It's just a cornfield. It's about to be a maze though. This corn looks a whole lot different than the last time I showed it to you. That replant come up, looks good. So it's right there about the perfect stage to be mowed with our zero turn mower. We'll get the maze cut out. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the actual path, you know, the main path from the exit where we're at now over to the entrance, and then I'll go back in and make all the blind alleyways, the loop-de-loops and everything else, and try and make this pretty entertaining for folks this fall. So I'm gonna throw my drone up and record the whole process. Y'all be sure to take a screenshot, so if you come out here this fall, you know the way through. All right, the corn maze is now a maze, and I thought about going a little bit easier this year. Then I thought, nah, some people really appreciate a challenge, especially considering it's dark when you do this. So anyway, things starting to shape up out here. Zombie Trail paintball and Camp Blood this year. So y'all make sure to make plans to come see us this October. Be open every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night all the way through October, and then a couple other days here and there. You can go to zombietrailpaintball.com and get the full calendar and hours. Really hope to see y'all out here. I know it's a lot of fun. We got family friendly Zombie Trail paintball, kids love it, and then not so family friendly Camp Blood. It will scare you. Oh, and also hadn't mentioned in a while, I wanted to throw out a plug for our online store, farmmerchbin.com. Get your t-shirts, your hats, your coffee mugs, license plates, decals, and a lot of other stuff on there. We're not the only ones on there. Dylan Joyce Farms, Thomas Farms TN, the Crop Critic, Chronicles of Kayla, a couple others. They're also on there with their own line of merchandise. So if you're looking for that kind of thing, we'd really appreciate y'all's support. Again, that's www.farmmerchbin.com. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up for this video. After that dusty mess, I need a shower. So anyway, don't know what the next video will be, but I'll be sure to bring you along. Thanks for watching.